Hey there, what is up you guys? I am Jerry and welcome back to the channel, The Chicago Griller. This is the show where I share my favorite tips, tricks, and recipes for the Weber Q. If you think that I can help you out, hit that like button and subscribe. In today's video, I'll be grilling a bruschetta chicken breast. I learned this recipe from a fellow YouTuber, Gallagher's Grub, aka the City Escape Griller, aka the Fire Escape Griller. He is the OG Weber Q grill master. And this recipe is the one that got me cooking on my Weber Q again and indirectly led me to creating this channel. That said, I'll be using my method for this recipe on the Weber Q today, and who knows, maybe this will inspire the next Weber Q griller. Come on, let's go. For today's video, we'll be grilling some chicken breasts. But before we get there, we need to prepare our bruschetta topping. To do this, grab 1 pint of grape tomatoes and rinse them under running water. Then grab a sharp knife and dice these tomatoes up. You can dice them as finely or as rough as you would like. I tend to dice up my tomatoes a little bit more on the chunky side because, let's be honest, this process is kind of a pain in the butt, and a chunkier dice is simply much faster. Regardless of how finely or how chunky you dice up your tomatoes, place them into a small bowl when completed. Then you're going to want to reset and wipe down your cutting board and grab a couple of cloves of garlic. And in today's video, I am hand chopping up 3 cloves of garlic. It might look like a lot of garlic, but trust me, you're going to want all of this because, fresh garlic is just so aromatic and so flavorful. Into the bowl the garlic goes. Next up in our bruschetta, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This is followed up with 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Oops, that's not quite 2 tablespoons. There we go, much better. Now we follow this up with some salt and pepper. As usual, I add both of these ingredients to taste. And now for the final component of our bruschetta topping, some basil. Strangely, all the grocery stores I went to this week didn't have any fresh basil, so I had to use some pre-chopped for today's recipe. Regardless of what you do use, mix all of these ingredients together. And that's it for your bruschetta topping. Place this in the fridge and let this chill out while we prepare our chicken breasts. Now, I'll just run through this really quickly because I've prepared chicken breasts several times on this channel before. And if you may recall from those videos, I like to split my chicken breasts in half because they tend to be very large out of the package and take too long to cook as is. Additionally, they tend to have a thick side and a thin side, so you do want to take a meat mallet and hammer that thick side down so that the entire chicken breasts are of even thickness. With those important steps completed, you can now apply some olive oil to your chicken breasts and then your seasonings. For me, usually that involves some salt and pepper, followed up with a healthy dose of Italian seasoning. Once you're satisfied with the amount you've added, use your clean hands and pat these seasonings gently into the surface of your chicken breasts. Turn them over and repeat the process on the second side. And once that's completed, we can head on out to our grill. So for today's recipe, I'll be cooking on my Weber Q2000. It has been preheating for the past 15 minutes, and I've now turned the gas knob to a medium heat. So what I'll do now is simply lay my chicken breasts directly across the grill grates. I don't think I'll ever tire of hearing the sound of meat sizzling on a hot grill. It's like a Pavlovian response or something. When you hear this sound, you know something tasty is coming very shortly. Anyways, once all your chicken breasts are on board, shut the lid and let this cook for about 5 minutes on that first side. And after 5 minutes, we'll open the lid, and we are now ready to flip our chicken breasts over to the other side. So here we go, and we are looking pretty good. So let's just continue turning over the remainder of our chicken breasts. Now, chicken can sometimes be a little bit stubborn and stick to the grates like you see here. So to combat that a bit, always make sure your grates are clean and that you used an adequate amount of oil when preparing your chicken. Anyways, I got all these guys turned over, so at this point, I'll just go shut the lid once again and let these cook for just a couple minutes before the next step. So here we are, 2 minutes later. That's a total of 7 minutes of total grilling time. We're now going to add some mozzarella cheese slices to each one of our chicken breasts. So we've already made that bruschetta tomato topping, and our grilled chicken is really coming along here. So this is really the final piece to the bruschetta chicken equation. What I did today was I took one of those pre-packaged mozzarella cheese balls and sliced it into 8 portions, which as you can see ends up just being about perfect for the amount of chicken that I have on the grill today. And with all the cheese on board, we'll close the lid and let that cheese melt a little and let the chicken cook to completion. So here we are, 10 minutes of total grilling time has elapsed, and we're ready to pull everything off of the grill. If you want to verify your results with a food thermometer, you want to make sure your chicken has reached an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 74 degrees Celsius. That said, I use this method and these temperature settings to cook chicken breasts all the time, so I know that these are done. And now we're back inside, so let's assemble our grilled bruschetta chicken. Remember that bowl of tomato topping that we made earlier? Pull that out of the fridge and grab a spoon and spoon this generously on top of your chicken and melted mozzarella cheese. Now don't hold back. You really want to lay it on there because this mixture of cheese, tomatoes, garlic, balsamic vinegar, it's a true classic. And they work exceptionally well in large quantities. And so I present to you grilled bruschetta chicken, made on a Weber Q, aka the dish that rekindled my love for Weber Q cooking. Again, a hat tip goes out to Brian at Gallagher's Grub for the inspiration. Definitely check out his channel and his videos whenever you have the chance. And all that said, of course, thank you all very much for watching this channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.